So they're also on the call. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining in. Today we're just gonna quickly go over a few things which a lot of my team members especially keep asking me. So how to generate the leads, what's prospecting, how should we talk to people, what should we do in order to, how should we basically meet new people, where do you see new people coming in, all those sorts of questions we always keep getting from all the team members. So I've tried to make some sort of basic personalized presentation for you guys, and I'll just explain everything on the way. Any questions, feel free to interrupt anytime, and you guys can ask. So basically, firstly, introduction about myself. I'm a mortgage broker from almost 5 years now, one of the team leads with the Call Mortgages. I was just recently also awarded the top 5% across Canada Mortgage Alliance for 2024. I was also given the Rising Star Award in 2023 and a few other things. So we're also we're not here to impress you. We're just here to solve the problems you guys are having. But just a basic introduction I've always figured I should always give to everyone. Today's agenda, like I said, how to basically get the prospects, get the leads. What do I do mostly? So just from personal experience, what I can tell, what is working and what's not working. Because when I started, it was end of 2020 basically. So 21 was the peak. So at that time, market was completely different. Then 22, obviously the rates happened and we saw a decline. And 23 and 24 was a little different and tough. And 25 is very different to even the last couple of years, honestly. But yes, before I'll try and be quick so we can cover everything. I'll try not to bore you guys, but yes. So before we start anything, this is something which is very shocking when I also got to know this. Because people always say, okay, where should we see people? People are not buying houses anymore. There's no activity in the market happening. So actually, if you do the research, almost 80% of the mortgages have nothing to do with sale and what that means is basically it's actually the number is I recently checked, it's 74%, not 80. So what that basically means is they're either refinances, second mortgages, line of credits, debt consolidations, all that stuff. Basically, it has nothing to do with mortgages. The second point, which is very important, is the opportunity we have for business. He has a 5-year term. Let me see if everybody's able to join in. Yes, sorry. So yes, so if the term is 5 years, almost at 3.5 years, roughly, most of the people break their mortgage. Either they sell the property or they refinance. That was the trend up until now. It might change in the future because obviously we know how everything is right now. But that was up until now. And a great number is almost 60 to 68% of mortgage professionals don't even reach back to their clients. So it could be a renewal chance. It could be a refinance. It could be they need money for something, So almost over 60% of mortgage professionals, they're either too busy, they're either negligent, they either don't know how to follow up, but they don't even reach back to the client. So what I'm trying to say is, people say that, oh, there's no opportunity, market saturated, blah, blah, blah. But actually, there's a lot of opportunity. If you are willing to put in the work, there is a lot of opportunity. So just look at these numbers. 80% of mortgages, nothing to do with sale purchase. Almost breaking mortgages at 3.5-year mark. 60%, almost 68% mortgage professionals not even reaching back. So that's a huge opportunity for every one of us. But obviously, lead generation, prospecting, success, failure, everything, basic thing which I've learned over the time is mindset is everything to doing anything in any business. Obviously, if you go try and talk to someone, if you go try and prospect, or if you even try to network in basic sense of the word, it's obviously hard. It's not easy, especially for someone like me. It was very hard because I'm not used to doing that. I'm not comfortable doing that. And we must have people over here who are obviously like me. But if it was easy, everyone would be a top producer. It's hard. That's why you differentiate yourself, right? The market's saturated. There's a lot of competition, but differentiate you actually don't have a lot of competition then. You just need to figure out a way how to do that. Basic, most important thing is that the mind shift, that execution is everything. You might have 100 ideas, But if you're thinking, oh, I'll do this Thursday, I'll do this next week, next month, idea, execute it today. You'll see the results. And do it persistently. You'll see the results. This mindset has to shift. And I tell this to everyone. Ideas are worth nothing if you don't execute them. I'll basically, even a simple idea, just like, okay, I'll go door knocking. It's the simplest of ideas. Everybody knows it. It works. That's why people have been saying that for last 20, 25 years or whatever time people have been doing business. But who's doing it? I don't know how many people have we on the call, we have on the call, but probably not even half of you guys are doing it. So you might have an idea like, okay, I'll go door knocking. Door knocking works, but go execute it and do it for a period of time. Then come back and blame yourself. And then if you don't see the results, then there is some problem. But if you've not done it for 3-6 months and you're saying, okay, we don't see anything happening, I mean, there's a mindset needs to shift then, firstly. Second, which I realized over time is it's not what you know or who you know, it's who knows you. Especially in our business, in real estate, in accountants, like insurances, any business, you name it. You might have tons of knowledge. We've had all of us have team members who have actually tons of knowledge, who attend every webinar, who attend every session, who are in every industry event, who have every idea of how to do a mortgage and how to get a client, but they're not doing anything about it. You might know hundreds of people at your work, in your family events, you're the most popular guy in your family, but if they don't know what skill set you have, if they have no idea, you're a mortgage professional, you've been doing this for a while, you're confident with yourself, there's no point of all that. So our business is a people business. You should be out there. You shouldn't be waiting. You should be out there. Also, along with this, you have to be referable. I tell this to everyone. Be referable. What that means is, before you start prospecting, before you start thinking about the business, money, how to get the deals done, how to make the money, you have to make sure at least you have the basic knowledge. If somebody is coming to you, a family member, let's say, comes to you with as simple as a question that, okay, Ajay, what's the variable rate today? And if you don't have the knowledge for that, I don't think he's coming back to you. That's a basic mindset shift that needs to happen. What I'm talking about is, I'm going over them quickly. These are basic little things you need to change if you actually want to even try and see what is out there. Accidental referrals, that basically means is, that's how I started. Then I realized one fine day that, okay, that's not, if I want to be a producer, that's not how things work. Accidental referrals is, okay, I'll get the license, I'll just wait for things to happen, and I'll post a picture here and there once in a while, and somebody will refer me one day, or somebody might come to me. Or that mindset also, sometimes people have, okay, I just want to do one deal, or I just want to do 2 deals, extra money. If the goal is just to do 1 or 2 deals, then why even waste your money? You could do that easily somewhere else. Because in 1 or 2 deals, if your goal is not at least 100K in this business, you're in the wrong business, because it's not hard to make 100K. We've done it over the course of our career. A lot of people before us have done it. A lot of people after us will do it. So it's not that hard. Don't wait for the pipeline to dry up. What that means is, people who are already in the business, because we have all different sorts of people on the call today. I tend to do this a lot. I'm still working on this. So if I have 10 deals at the time going on, I focus on those 10 deals. That, okay, I have a lot of business. I'm already on the way to make 100K this month or 50,000 this month. So I sit back and relax. That, okay, let me do this, and then I'll go prospect again. Then I'll go do my stuff again. Don't ever do that. I make that mistake still. I'm still trying to work on it, but I learn from it every time. If I wait, I'm losing on a lot of business. I'm losing on my skill set. I'm losing on the time. You don't get back the time. So these few things, change your mindset before you start any sort of prospecting, lead generation, or even wanting to have business. Be referable, have the knowledge. Don't rely on accidental referrals. Go out there, find referrals. Don't wait for the pipeline to dry up. Do not sit if you have a few deals. Do not sit back and relax that, oh, I have a few deals. Always be out there, meet new people. These things these are the things, these are basic little things. Everybody knows these, but you have to sort of change the mind that, okay, yes, I'll work on them. And I'm not telling you everybody's perfect. I am not, especially, but we're still trying to learn and we're still trying to work on it. So basically, these are a few things which I wanted to talk about before we get into the prospecting and lead generation and all those stuff. I know some of you texted me that you guys have to go somewhere, so I'll firstly quickly go over whatever I want to talk about, and whoever has to leave can leave, and whoever wants to stay can stay. Once you have the mindset that, okay, I want to succeed, I want to do X, Y, Z, this is how I'll do it. I mean, you obviously have mentors under Call Mortgages, or a couple of people from other brokerages as well. I'm sure you guys work with other people. Everybody knows how to do it. You just need to sort of rely on us and follow what we tell you, at least for the initial period of time. Um, Prospecting or lead generation, there's tons of ways. I don't know why people say, oh, market's this, market's slow. People are still out there doing deals. People are still out there making efforts. People are still doing business. We are still doing business. So obviously the business is there. Maybe you guys are not putting the efforts. Maybe you guys are not putting the efforts at the right place. Maybe you guys are not in right way, which it should be. These are just a few examples. Everybody knows referrals work. It could be a realtor referral, it could be accountant, it could be a lawyer, it could be an insurance agent, it could be a construction worker who refers you a deal. They do work. How to do it? We'll talk about it. How to approach these people? We have tons of these people around us all the time. Webinars, like this webinar, these work. I know these are hard to do. These take time. You have to sit, you have to prepare, you have to talk, you have to meet new people. You have to be prepared to answer the questions which might come up. But these do work. I just posted this webinar maybe 4 or 5 days ago. Like I'm going to do it. A lot of you are here, so obviously these work. A lot of you don't know me. You just probably know my name. That okay, so it's someone who works at a Car Mortgages. So they do work. Cold calling. We'll just talk about that as well. How to do it? Where do I do it? I'm just gonna talk about how I personally do everything today. I honestly won't talk about the generic thing. How I do it, how it works for me. Maybe you guys can try and replicate that. Seminars. What I mean by that is the industry events, the community events we have. Industry events we keep happening all the time. A lot of people we see you there. A lot of people actually don't show up. That's sad, but I'll tell you the reason why that works also. Content marketing, social media. I was someone who was afraid of even talking in front of the camera. Like I was afraid to even just post a picture of myself on camera, on Instagram, on TikTok, on whatever. And I was the one who used to make fun of people dancing, laughing, singing on TikTok to get views. I still don't do that. But does it work if you do it the right way? If you just convey the right information in the most nicely kind possible way, does it work? I'll show you the few examples that yes, it works and how it works. Has it worked for me? Yes, it has. And if you just go to just type Manveer Mortgages, MANVIR Mortgages on Instagram or TikTok, and you'll see I don't post funny stuff. I don't post dancing videos. I just post normal talking about mortgages, about the business, about the opportunities, sometimes about products as well. But does it work? It definitely does work. Paid advertising, we have a lot of people doing it. I do it myself. It obviously has results, but it is a whole complete different set of world in terms of how it works and how you see the results. Because paid advertising, it's sort of not in your hands. Referrals, industry events, social media, this, that, is everything is in your hands. Paid advertising, we're mostly having a third party company having to do with that. So we don't have a control over the results for that. But yes, it works. It definitely works. But it is a little, it gives you results over a period of time. It just never gives you the results right away, right? See, everything works. Just You just need to realize one thing. I don't know if you guys have ever read the book. Psycho Cybernetics is the name. There's one line I really picked on that our mind is really, really fixated on failures. If you fail once, our mind pauses and we try and fix that. That's how human psychology works for some reason. And I actually do that. But we should actually move on. Failure, Try and learn as much as possible, move on. Failure, try and learn as much as possible, move on. Because there's tons of stuff you can do. We sometimes, I'm like, I'll go door knocking for 3 days, it doesn't work. I'll try and come back home, and for the next 3 days, I'll try and fix it. Okay, I'm doing something wrong here. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Learn along the way. Don't sit back, pause, and try and fix it. Just keep doing it. You'll learn. Social media. If you see my first few videos, I was too scared. You can, if you, I know it because I did those videos, but zoom in on my face. You can see actually that I have sweat over my face because I'm sweating just to talk. And that's, and if you see the guy in front of me, he's actually one. So I'm still nervous, but I'm not pausing. I'm not pausing to learn. I'm just doing it. That, okay, what next? What next? What next? Learning out, on the go. That's how things need to be done. Always. One of the most important things if you want to do any of these marketing techniques is this is for the new people. Elevator pitch is just a word, but you need to have an introduction to yourself. Because this is what I feel was missing in myself when I initially started. This is what I feel is missing in a lot of my new team members. If you're going to meet someone, a realtor, let's say in a brokerage, if you don't know how to introduce yourself, you sort of lose that person in that first meeting. You have to be confident. I mean, I feel a lot more comfortable with myself right now. Obviously, I wasn't this way just when I started. But you have to be confident. You just need to know that, okay, what do I need to talk about in the first meeting? You should be a little prepared. Don't just walk into a room, random room, because maybe that's a lot of business you might lose if you don't do it the right way in the first go. Just a small example. Who are you? My name is Manveer Singh. I work for Call Mortgages. I've been doing mortgages for almost 5 years. Call Mortgages has been in business in over 2 decades. Over 20 years, over 2 decades. Just gives a better impression. Inspiring statements always, always impress people. That, okay, Call Mortgages have been in business for over 20 years. Yes, great. Call Mortgages have been in business for over 2 decades. This makes a difference. I've been in business for the last 5 years. Makes a difference. Or my team member just did 100 million last year, or my team lead just did 100 million last year, makes a difference. Just add one small sentence here and there just to sort of inspire the other people that, okay, okay, he's someone who's interesting. Unique value proposition, you'll eventually figure out what it is. You'll figure this out once you keep going. For example, my unique value proposition, which clients tell me, I can show you the messages sometime, is if I say that, okay, this deal is doable, 99% of the times I end up doing it unless there's something very vaguely wrong with it. So that's my unique value proposition, that, okay, if you've come to me, now you can relax. It'll be done. And I mostly get, secondly, is my service. You call me at 9 p.m., you call me at 9 a.m., you call me at 11 p.m., I'll answer. Because I realized this, I bought a house one day, I was very stressed. I was going through the refinance procedure one day, I was very stressed. If somebody on the other end answers my phone and just tells me what's going on, that, okay, your file's in the process, underwriter called me today. Sometimes we don't even have updates. Sometimes for good 15, 20 minutes, I'm just listening to the client, comforting them that, okay, hey, don't worry. It'll happen, don't worry. And mostly we know if there's something wrong with the file, we already know. So it's not like we don't know. Call to action, in your first introduction, in your first meeting, in your first call, cold call, warm call, whatever you might call it, the call to action should always be a second meeting. Write this down in your brains, because this is something I used to think that, okay, call to action should be, oh, let's do business, let's collaborate. The call to action in your first meeting should always be a second meeting, in your brain at least. Your mindset should be that, okay, I just want to have another call with you, I just want to have another meeting with you. Because if you have that second call or meeting, it's definitely business. If you just have one phone call, let's do business, you don't have anything to catch up on the next call. Because on next time you're going to call him, or next time you're going to go see him, it'll be like, oh, he's here asking for business again. It could be a random thing. It could be, let's go golfing. It could be, let's have a cup of coffee. It could be, let's just talk about real estate, or what's happening in the market. Don't ask for business in the first meeting, ever. First meeting is always introductions, what you do, how you do, your unique value, what you can provide. That's it. Don't ask for business ever. I know it's you have to be patient with it because everybody is sort of wants business, wants money, but this is just like any other business. It's a bit long term. So always goal of first meeting, goal of first call, goal of first webinar, first attending the seminar should always be a second call, a second meeting. In the second meeting, things can go different. But yes, always have an introduction to yourself. Make sure everybody, all the new old agents have this, just so at least when you meet new people, you don't have to think about what you need to say in the first go. You should be comfortable enough that, okay, hi, my name is Manveer Singh, work with the Call Mortgages, been a mortgage broker for 5 years. They've been in business over 2 decades. We worked with 56 lenders last year. That's amazing, right? Just things like this. You can figure out your own. You don't have to follow mine. You can go figure out your own introductions. But always have this in your mind. It could be in your own language, obviously, Punjabi, Hindi, English, French, whatever you guys speak. It doesn't have to be English. So I'm just gonna go over what few things have worked for me. And I've tried to make it a little bit interesting and personal. I've gone back in my pictures, screenshot messages, just to show you how this works, how it has worked for me. So if you see the first guy, that's an accountant. So if you see, he's taken a picture with flowers and a bottle of wine at the back there. He says, thanks for the lovely gift. He's an accountant. This is his office in Hamilton. He's one of the biggest accountants. He himself has over 80 properties, commercial, mixed use, everything. But he has a lot of clients. And I knew that when I sent those gifts, I was talking to him a few days ago. So I knew that they had an event at their house, a nice, happy event. So I sent those flowers as a congratulations, congratulations. I didn't do any deal at the time. It was just congratulations, you guys had this. Just sent a gift. It was $50. You can Google that how to send roses and wines or flowers and wines, whatever it is. I think blooms, and there's a lot of websites who will do that for you. So I just sent a gift to him for no reason. I didn't close a deal with him. It's obviously an investment, maybe $50, $60, $100. I don't even remember how much was it. It was an investment, but a deal came from him for a 3.4 million in the next couple of weeks. I mean, I was lucky that I got a deal right away for 3.4 million. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't requesting it, but that $100 gift gave me almost 34,000, even if I charge 1% commission on that. But that was my investment, that I made an effort to remember that, okay, there was an event, I made an effort to send those flowers and wines. I made those efforts. He's a very nice guy. Nothing against him. He's a very nice guy. I know he has done a business. See, we always have to understand. He just didn't send me a deal because I gave him a gift. Our psychologies don't work that way. It has to be, human psychology is what's in it for me. So we always have to try and create a win-win situation for everyone. I also refer him clients. He refers back, but I also do that. So it always has to be a win-win. This lawyer, the second screenshot you guys see. So if you see, I gave your number to one of my colleagues. He works at a law firm, so he just gave my number to one of his colleagues. The reason is because I was referable enough, because we just met on a Friday night. We were talking about it. So that's when I told him that, okay, there are specific programs for lawyers, dentists, doctors, and, professionals. And he was like, I have no idea, because these guys are working from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. He's like, I have no idea. So he's like, okay, is there a specific different program for lawyers as well? I'm like, yeah, there is. So he gave my number to one of his colleagues. He's also a lawyer, Anthony. We ended up doing his mortgage. Third example is a realtor. So this guy, he works at, I might be wrong, but I think he works at Remax Gold, if I remember correctly. If you see the date, Sunday, March 30th, not too long ago. If somebody is added on Instagram with me, I went to Remax Gold's brokerage office just a few days ago, I think end of March, somewhere there. So I met a few guys there. This was one of them. Again, did the introductions, hello, hi, what I can do. Nothing specific that I talked about, but just I was able to go there and walk into the brokerage, introduce myself to like 20 realtors there. I didn't feel uncomfortable. I was like, okay, I have to do this for business. I'm not just the reason I have all the screenshots and everything along in this presentation is we're not just saying that, go do this. We do this and it works. That's why we're telling you, okay, please try this. So if that's why I even tried to screenshot the date, Sunday, March 30th. Whoever is with me on Instagram must have seen that I posted a few pictures of Remax Gold stories. It works. Just you have to go out there. You have to be out there. Second question, which I get often is cold calling. That does it still work? Okay, there's a small difference why I wrote cold and warm calling. Cold calling, in my opinion, doesn't work. I don't know how it used to work before. I don't know how it works for some people still. In my opinion, it never worked for me. Warm calling, yes. But warm and small difference between both of them. Cold calling is just calling randomly anyone. Warm calling is either I've been introduced to them a little bit, or they know about me a little bit, or I've done a little research on them. That works. So, for example, I should know who I'm about to talk to. I should know what I need to talk to them about. I've given you a couple of examples. So Remax, if you follow them on Instagram, recently posted this picture, 2024 awards, top 30 under 30. So these are their biggest producers, and they are pretty young. So I can relate to them in a different way. So I screenshot this picture. It was in my phone when I was preparing this presentation. So I actually called all 30 of them one day. I got in touch with probably 12 of them, and I've done business with one of them already. Hopefully we'll do with the other people as well, but I've already done business with one of them. I was able to get in touch with 12 of them out of the 30. But I did my research that, okay, these are the top producers. My conversation with them was a little different. I was trying to, impress them in a different way that, okay, I'm also top producer. Let's meet. I'm not saying let's do business. Let's meet. Let's see what you do. I always try and give the other person a little bit of higher reputation in terms of, you're doing great. I want to learn what you're doing. I never say that, okay, give me mortgages, please, give me one deal. Second example, if you follow Remax Gold's page, that's properties by Gold as Remax Gold page. I'm just giving their examples because they were in front of my Instagram yesterday. So they post the pictures, welcome to the team, welcome to the team, welcome to the team. What this means is whenever somebody new joins their team, Remax Millennium also does this, Royal LePage also does this. A lot of brokerages do this. So welcome to the team means they're new. They obviously need connections. They obviously need people like us. So that's my way of researching that, okay, how can I approach new? I'm not just randomly, I cannot, there are probably 50, 60,000 realtors. I cannot call 50, 60,000 people. I try and do a little bit of my research that, okay, who should I call? Who should I put my, also you have to realize we're at a point where we're also doing X amount of business. So we're also busy. So we're not just wasting time on everyone. We're doing our research. So welcome to the team. What that means is he's basically a new guy. So when I'm calling him, I have a whole different conversation with him. That, oh, I know the market's not great. But, people don't realize there's still an opportunity. People don't realize there are better rates. People don't realize there's still solutions. People are struggling. I know, if you ever have a client, who can't be qualified on the bank side, there are B lenders, I know you're new to the industry, but some people actually don't know a lot about B and C lenders. So my conversation with the top producer is different. With a new realtor, it's different. I've just given you examples of a realtor. I have hundreds of examples of all different sorts of people. But cold calling, in my opinion, never worked for me. Warm calling, yes, it works. Either I have to be introduced by someone, either they know about me through social media, or I do my research and then call them. I said through social media because I've met a couple of realtors through social media as well. We connected, we sort of followed each other. We liked each other pictures a few days and then, commented on each other's photos or something. And then we sort of knew that, okay, who this guy is. They knew about me, I knew about them, obviously. But obviously, cold calling is different, warm calling is different. So whenever you're trying to do this, whenever you're trying to generate leads, prospects, whatever, do your research. It takes a bit of time. Obviously, it's not easy. Like I said, if it was easy, everybody would be a top producer. It takes a bit of time and effort. But yes, do your research before anything. you'll definitely see the results. Obviously, you also have to be persistent. Next question: why should we do social media? Does it work? I've attached a few screenshots, and I've tried to. I don't. Firstly, I'm not someone who does a lot of social media. I'm still learning. I'm still trying. Uh, I've only started doing it from last 6 8 months. I was so scared to do it, but then one fine day I was like, FA, let's do it. But I've attached a few screenshots from Instagram. Does it work? Answer to that question. If you see the first screenshot, that's Feb 28th. If you see the second screenshot, Feb 22, third one, March 15th. So this is in the last 2 3 months. I posted a few videos talking about mortgages, products, whatever. First guy, hi sir, I'm looking for a mortgage. Can you share your number? I gave him my number. He called me. He came to the office. We were able to do his mortgage. It's already closed. He was in a tough situation. He needed money. We were able to do the mortgage. I didn't take out the names. I should have, but just for privacy sake. But I just wanted you guys to see the dates and everything. That's why I didn't take out the names. The second guy, I posted a video. If you go to my Instagram or TikTok, you can see I posted a video about a Manulife Bank product that you can get a mortgage. That you don't need to have X amount of income if you have net worth 1.2 times, twice the mortgage, blah blah blah. So there's a Manulife Bank program where you can qualify for mortgages with any sort of TDS. Doesn't matter if the loan to value is 65% or lower. I talked about that program basically in my one of my videos. So this guy approached me that, okay, I want to know about Manulife Bank. So I gave him a number. He called me. We're already working on his mortgage. This third person again reached out to me through TikTok. He also was, if somebody was in the office Wednesday, I was in the office with this guy, if you remember the face. He has a condo closing from a builder coming up in July. So he was looking for a mortgage professional. So this is an example of when some people, I always tell this to everyone, the goal of social media should never be leads. It should be awareness and people's confidence in you. That should be the goal of social media. But if you get leads, if you get business out of there, that's cherry on top. We've started to get business out from social media now. But my goal was not to get business from social media. Honestly, my goal was brand awareness, that people should know who Manveer is. This was the goal. But now we're getting messages. These are just 3 examples from last 2 3 months. I can show you a few more, and I've only been posting. If you see my accounts, I've only been posting from last 6 8 months. Earlier, I used to just post a picture, recently funded, whatever mortgage I used to do, and just used to post a picture, recently funded, because I was so scared to talk in front of the camera. But I was still, having a tough time that, okay, I should do this. So I was just posting a picture here and there. In my mind, just convincing myself, that, okay, I'm doing social media also. Pictures doesn't work. Anybody can post a picture. They don't work. You have to go, you have to talk. You have to talk in front of the camera, be confident. While also talking, you have to be confident, honestly. That's how it works. But yes, it works. Now, these were a few examples of the free prospecting, the free lead generation. Some people come to us that, okay, are there any paid advertising methods? There are tons of them. Just a few examples, tons of them. You tell us what your budget is. You tell us how much money you want to put in. Google, you can post ads on social media as well. Kijiji, flyers, radios, you name it. And you can do paid interviews, paid podcast these days. You can just go on people who are a little famous, do a podcast with them, and people recognize you then. Tons of methods. Do I advocate for these for new people? Not really. There's a reason for it. It's hard-earned money. If you guys start putting money into paid advertising right away, you have no idea what you're talking about on radio. You have no idea how to talk to clients. Then what's the point? If you're thinking, oh, this is an easy way, I'll just put up an ad, people will call me, then that's again going back to that mindset, accidental referrals. Then you're waiting for an accidental deal to happen. You don't want to put an effort. You don't want to go out there. You're just willing to pay the money that, okay, one day deal will happen. I'll just cover this amount. These are the plus things you should do. You should do everything we spoke about, plus this. We do this. I do this, paid marketing. but I do everything which I spoke about. I showed you the examples. I do everything which I spoke about, then I do this. I just don't do these and wait for the deals to happen. But yes, there are tons of ways. Tons of ways. How long does it pay for ads to work? This is main thing if you want to start any sort of marketing. At least 3 to 6 months. If you're putting $2,000 for 1 month and you're not seeing the results, you come back to us. We're really sorry. People actually say longer than 6 months, but I'm telling you minimum 3 to 6 months. And that also is very, very market dependent. What sort of market is going on? What sort of is the emotion in the market? What is happening more these days? But at least 3 to 6 months. So if you want to do paid advertising with us, with anyone else, with your own, on your own, whatever your goal is, give it at least 3 to 6 months. Then only you can see if it is working or not. Otherwise, there's no point of wasting money in 1 month and stopping it next, then putting in the money again, then stopping it in the next. I think Parminderji has been doing it for a long, long time now. So they're seeing the results because he's been doing it for a very long time. I've been doing it for a very long time. I do it differently though. I do it more through social media and those platforms. But some people do it through Google. So everything is different, but give it time. Give it time. Like I said initially, also industry events, it's really important, and it's really important for you guys. These are a few pictures from the events we go to. It's very important that you guys attend every single industry event. Firstly, it's mostly free. All it needs is your time. But the kind of people you meet there, the lenders or like people from other brokerages, it's amazing. If you see in the third picture, we're playing golf. The guy in the white cap is Brian from Equitable Bank, the BDM. The guy on Brian's right side, that's Anton. That's Mortgage Alliance top 1% producer. Guy on the left is Raghav. They do tons of business. So I'm not saying I'm generating business from them, but that on that one golf event, I might have learned a few things from them at least. Have sort of moved me in certain direction. Raghav was the one who actually convinced me that okay, I should start doing commercial mortgages. He spent some time. Can you guys, Melanie, can you mute, please?
Oh, sorry.
But yes, by industry events, I mean is you might meet lenders, you might meet new people, but it's important you go to them because you will obviously learn something from them. These are just a few pictures. We go to almost every possible event. If you see a car mortgages, any event we're invited to, we happily go. Firstly, lenders you meet. One of the events, I didn't post a picture. Community Trust did an event in downtown a few months ago in winters around Christmas. I had 2-3 deals going on at the time. I wasn't able to get them approved for some reason. There was nothing wrong with, there was nothing drastically wrong with the deals, but obviously there's always something going on with the deals. So there was everyone from their BDMs to VPs there. I spoke to them. Underwriter was there actually, who was working on the deal. We spoke to them and the deals were approved very next day. So the prospecting, lead generation, industry events, everything follows. There's a process to everything. You can't just be, I'll do this, I won't do this, I'll do this, I won't do this. You have to put in time. You have to have time on the weekdays to attend these events. If you're doing something else on the weekdays, if you're just like, okay, I'll put in the time on the weekend, sadly, unfortunately, it just won't work out for you. You'll learn this the hard way. That, okay, I'm just going to put the time on the weekends. I'm going to do my normal job on the weekdays. It just won't work out. No events are happening on the weekends. No lenders answering your phone calls on the weekends. No realtor wants to see you on the weekend. No lawyer is in the office waiting for you to come on the weekend. Weekdays, that's the working hours. That's the business hours. That's when you are generating the business. Also, just from the hours, it came to my mind. If you actually want to plan the day, we can do it this later also. But also figure out one thing. Always calls first, then computer. So if you get up in the morning or if you're doing anything, the priority should always be the phone calls. Never miss a phone call. It could be a client, it could be a lender. The stuff you're doing on the computer is not important. Punching in the deal, replying to an email. That can happen anytime. I've seen this with a lot of people who failed. That okay, I'm working on a deal. This is more important to me. This is 10,000, 5,000 bucks. You might have missed a call. That's another 20,000. Always prioritize calls over this computer thing. You can have pay 15, 20% to one of our team members. They'll do the underwriting for you. You don't even have to be on the computer. Focus on bringing in the business. Closing a deal will help you. We have underwriters. If you don't have the time, if you're willing to let go of the commission, obviously that's completely your call. We don't I don't encourage that, but if you want to do that, definitely we have solutions for that. Especially, this is I had to put this few pictures in here because I was on the phone call with one of the realtors, and he was like, bro, where do you find deals? He's a new guy, so he's like, you've been doing business, where do you go find new people without spending the money, without putting in the money? Elections are happening, guys. 28th is the election. I don't know if you will get to see any one of these MP, MLAs, MPPs, whatever you guys call it, later, but they're more than willing to see you guys right now. And there are tons of people always at these events these guys host. You have free access. You can go to any event. You'll meet hundreds of people there. If you're not doing it, ask yourself the reason why you're not doing it. Everybody knows about it. I'm sure everybody knows that 28th is the election. I'm sure everybody knows that, okay, somebody in their area, MP, whatever, is holding an event, a barbecue, a kickoff, something. I actually went with a couple of these. These are MPs from Brampton, candidates from Brampton, who are standing in the election this year. I actually went with a couple of them door knocking for their sake. But that door knocking helped me so much, because whenever you're door knocking and if you have a nice conversation with them, most times, 99% of the times, the other person out of courtesy will ask, okay, what do you do? How are you? What do you do? This is a basic question everybody, asks. I'm a mortgage broker. Oh, wow. So that's door knocking along with 25 other people. So that's, again, a mindset shift that, okay, there's something in it for me. I honestly cannot. I obviously, if you try and understand it, I just have one vote, and in one constituency. I can't be voting for everyone, but I can at least support them, or that's again a win-win. Like I said, human psychology works. What's in it for me? Win-win. These guys need people with them to go door knocking. I need a door to knock to, and confidence enough that, okay, I'll go knock this door. I'll go talk to people. If you go to their offices, on weekdays, I don't know about the weekends, at least on the weekdays in the evening time, to any one of whoever's in your constituency, there are hundreds of people sitting there just talking random things. Oh, liberal government did this, conservative did this. Okay, what did liberal government do? Oh, they messed up the housing market. Okay, what happened? They increased the interest rate so much. This happened, that happened. Oh, what's your interest rate? Oh, 5.7%. Why is it so high? I'm with a B lender. Let's try and move you to a better lender. That's a deal. But you need to be there. That's plus it's a $0 investment. I gave this example to him yesterday, so that's why I put these pictures here. Till 28, you guys have time to do this. There's obviously hundreds of things we can do. We can keep talking about them, but this is what you can do these days. If you want to go meet, if some people out of you are doing it, great. It definitely helps. Prospecting, lead generation is obviously relative to income. It could be referrals, it could be cold calling, warm calling, social media, paid marketing, seminars, whatever you name it. What this graph basically means is every prospect won't turn into a lead. Every lead won't turn into an application. Every application won't turn into an approval. Every approval won't close. But the main part here is you need to have prospects for that. I think maybe on an average, I might be wrong, 75%, let's say, is the closing ratio. It must be less than that, though. But even for that 75% to work, you need to have someone. They might fall apart somewhere during the process. Don't fixate on the failure again. Like I said, our mind's fixated on the failure. Okay, what happened? Why did this deal fall apart? I still sometimes end up doing it. I'm trying to learn how to not do that. That, okay, you know what, this deal fell apart. What happened? I don't want to do this the next time. That's fixating on the failure. Something happened, learn along the way, move on. Don't waste your time on a failure. Don't waste your time that, okay, what happened during this deal? Just keep prospecting, keep meeting new people. A deal doesn't happen, a lead doesn't come in, don't stop. Keep doing it. Do this persistently. Anything, even if you have a shitty idea, do this with full conviction and for a consistent period of time. You'll definitely see results. And I'm telling you, you'll definitely see results. This last slide I had to put in because if I don't show you that how I did it, how we all started, it won't make sense. So this is, if you see the dates, May 6th, 2021. Those are flyers. This is the story I posted on Facebook at the time. I'm doing door knocking. That's May 6th, 2021. I've been door knocking since 2021. Like I said, I started in 2020. I did my stuff. I learned the products. I tried to be referable enough. I had the knowledge, but I was executing what I'm talking about. We started getting the deals because we did whatever we were saying. May 6th, 2021, I was on the road. I still have those flyers because I still go door knocking. I love to do it. I love to meet new people. Because firstly, see, you have to realize this one thing about door knocking, about meeting people in person, that you're not dependent on someone else for those deals then. You're not dependent on a realtor to refer them. You're not dependent on a lawyer to refer them. You know the person directly then. It works. The second picture is from July 2021. That's my first home office desk where I used to cold call, warm call you, whatever you might call it. That's an 8-year-old laptop. That's how I started. I was living with 10 guys at the time, probably. One of those guys is in the call. He's one of my very, very old friends. He also got into mortgages recently. He knows this desk. This is where I used to do it. That's the house. That's one of my first deal I ever funded after 6 months being in the business, almost 6 months, a little less probably. But that was the first deal I ever funded. I still remember the amount, 387,500. That was the mortgage amount. But that was the first deal I ever funded. That properties in London. So everybody starts somewhere. You have to have a process. You have to have the mindset. You know what you need to do. Just need to execute it. We started this way. You guys can definitely do that as well. There you go, guys. I tried to be quick. I still took 30, 40 minutes. But yes, any questions?